We're back. Episode 17 live today. Very special episode. You'll see what we have planned in about 10 to 15 minutes. But for today, it would almost be wrong if we didn't talk about this the week that the Sixers and the Flyers have had. Starting off with the Sixers, they go 2 out of 3 on their West Coast, their second West Coast trip of the year. Picked up a much needed win last night with Miami and Orlando both losing, so they're up to the 7th seed. So, it's good. Unfortunately, they've lost all 4 games to the Hawks this season, so they are going to have to pass them. But I believe they have the tiebreaker over Toronto. They have a game against Miami that is very vital at the end of this week that they need to win to get the tiebreaker there. They have the tiebreaker over Orlando, so they're actually positioned pretty well. And it's been fun to watch, honestly. I mean, VJ's been awesome. Brief injury scare last night. That would have been terrible. PG's back on Wednesday. Justin Edwards had a nice career high night the other day. Quentin Grimes has been great in the month of March. He was great in the month of March last year for the Sixers. He's been great again. But yeah, they're playing, they're defending. Foul has been solid for us. But yeah, your thoughts? I mean, it's been a good week.
It's exciting to see they're winning games, trying their best to stay out of the play-in. I don't think it's going to be possible. I still think they're going to be a play-in team,
Well, I
but
mean,
we'll see.
they're only like a half game out of the
Yeah,
6 seeds, but they don't have that tiebreaker. But I mean,
but we'll see. I mean, we'll see with the starting five that we saw at the beginning of the year. I still believe that it's going to be a little bit challenging for the first game because they're all playing together for the first time in, what was it, 25 games, 30 games or something like that. So we'll see. I think they can beat any play-in team realistically if they're in the play-in. It's just a matter of if we're that play-in team that sneaks into the playoffs and we got to play a team like the Celtics or, you know, the Knicks or something like
well,
that. So
big shakeup just in the league in general. I mean, the health of Cade Cunningham makes the play-in very interesting because maybe out of the, right now the top 4 seeds in the East would be Detroit, uh, I think the Boston, the Knicks, and then the Cavs. Maybe now Detroit is the team that you want to see if Cade is coming back or not playing at all. I mean, so that's a big shakeup. Um, yeah, I mean, PG's back on Wednesday. It looks like Joel is going to be back at some point this week. Kelly Oubre and Tyrese Maxey were both doing on-court stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's getting down to the wire. So it's been exciting in the same building, in the Exmo, as we call it, or Kate Scott calls it. The Flyers also out on the West Coast this week, along with the Sixers. They go 3-0 on their West Coast trip. Basically, I mean, they didn't have much of any choice to do that. But I'll
yeah.
pass to you. I mean, you've been watching more than I have.
So they're playing great hockey as of right now. Just to give a layout on where they're standing based on the playoffs. They're outside of it now. There's two teams ahead of them in the wild card, which is the Bruins and the Red Wings. And unfortunately, they both played yesterday, and that game went to overtime, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
So points wise, it's not good for the Flyers, but they're doing everything they can. It just sucks because it's completely out of their control, essentially. They can win out games, but there's another team just outside, which is the Blue Jackets. Um, but both Boston and Detroit are, I think, like 4 points ahead of you or something like that, and they both
Now,
hold the wild card spots.
I
But
know that they do have three. I think they have like 3 games against Detroit still to play. So,
I believe so. I'm looking at the schedule right now. They got Detroit on the 28th, and then they do have a very hard schedule coming up. They got Detroit, then Dallas, then they got the Capitals, Red Wings again, then the Islanders, which the Islanders are another good team, and then the Bruins, the Devils, Red Wings, Jets, Hurricanes, Canadians to
yeah.
finish out the year. So again, it's basically completely out of their control. Everybody who I've spoken to who follows the Flyers more than we do, they're all on board with making a push for the playoffs. There's no point now or no point in tanking now, excuse me, because you're just going to end up within that 10 to 15 range pick.
Hmm.
So, like, you can complain that, oh, they do the same thing every year, but you just have to be comfortable with the idea of, I don't know, these teams losing and you
Right.
having a chance at the playoffs, which the city longs for playoff hockey. I called in the WIP this morning, express, and we're not even like the biggest hockey fans. We watch because they're
No.
the Flyers and they're our team,
Mhm.
but I think it's something that the entire city would want to experience. Last time we were in the playoffs was what, 2020,
Yeah, and
2019,
it
whatever it
wasn't
was,
even
and
it
it
wasn't even
wasn't
at home.
great, and it wasn't at home. So I think that playoff hockey would be the best scenario, especially going into the summer. And the
Yeah.
Flyers, it's a complete toss-up. Who knows? But they're playing very well.
Yeah.
Zegras is playing great. Mitchkov is you know, it's unfortunate because it's at the end of the year, but he's finding his way.
Hmm.
Dvorak's playing pretty well. Sanheim is playing well, and they played. But not Vladar is playing the best. And again, Rush Joy made this point on the Snow the Goalie radio. Shout out to them; they're a pretty good podcast. But it if they do make the playoffs, it essentially lies on the shoulders of Dan Vladar and how good he plays. So I don't know. They're shooting the puck more. They outshot San Jose yesterday. Uh, Say what you want about Tocchet. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be here
Yeah.
next year. And
Oh yeah.
I think
Definitely.
this
It's his
Mitchkov
first
thing
year.
is
His
just
first year.
yeah, I think this Mitchkov thing is just a sophomore slump. That's all I think it is. I think he's going to find his way.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of wrap it up and close it out, uh, if you looked at this a week ago, the Sixers and the Flyers were in very similar places of like, do you just push it for the lottery, which for the Sixers, I think it made not really any sense go off the fact that they don't own their first round pick. So,
Yeah.
but some people were like, just pack it in, tank it, and I never thought that, but it was a discussion that's brought up. But now for both of them, it's like just go for it, man. I mean, you've got
Yeah.
you've got some young talent who haven't experienced that before. Might as well go for it. But I think if you're the Flyers, like playing the better teams that are ahead of you is kind of what you need. Like if you can beat those teams in
It's the
regulation,
best case
you
scenario.
know that you're getting 2 points, they're getting zero. You're
Yeah.
controlling your own destiny. But I mean, they play Columbus, I think,
Well,
tomorrow night.
Columbus is right on their coattails. So
They play.
if they
Well,
can
I
stay
thought
ahead
they're
of
at home
Columbus
though.
and pass Boston, I don't know. But regardless, they still need to stay ahead of Columbus if
Well, if
they
they're
want
at
a
home,
shot.
it's probably Tuesday because I know the Sixers play the Thunder tomorrow night at home. So I don't
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really look at it. But yeah, I mean, it was a nice week. A lot of late night games, unfortunately, but I mean, I stay up and watch for the Sixers. But yeah, so let's give a little bit of an introduction here. Let's see if our guests are in the waiting room. So we have one in, and we're gonna get started. But today, this week really is about the start of the baseball season. Baseball is starting. I believe the Phillies' first game is Thursday. They play the Texas Rangers. But baseball is starting. Spring training. We've had the WBC. But now it's the real thing. So we've brought in our two friends. They both played baseball at Cherry Hill East. One went on to dominate at the University of well, dominate's a strong word. At the University of Immaculata for 2 seasons, and he has since retired. But we're gonna let our first guest in here, Jack Mondell. Okay, here he is. Hopefully he's dressed.
Yeah, show your face.
Yo, are you
Going on.
clothed?
Oh,
You
I'm
got
all
clothed?
good.
All right. So we've got Jack in here. Jack played baseball at Cherry Hill East, like we said. Huge Phillies fan, the most knowledgeable guy about the Phils that we know. Um, yeah, I mean it's the week of baseball. Baseball is starting.
And fun fact, the first openly gay guest on the show, Jack.
Yes,
Nice to meet
Wait,
you.
yes.
wait,
Also,
wait.
also the first guy on the show that we've ever had to have his career ended by a ruptured testicle. So, yeah, that's what we have this week. But we're gonna start briefly. Donnie will join us in a little bit, but we're gonna start by
Ooh.
talking quickly about the WBC and just kind of wrapping that whole thing up. If you watched, the U.S. did not get it done, did not win. Venezuela wins. We did have to give Nicolas Maduro back to Venezuela, um, but I mean, U.S. couldn't get it done.
Your overall
So
thoughts. Your overall thoughts on the World Baseball
the whole
Classic as a whole.
WBC.
Give us the whole tournament and then your thoughts on Team USA.
Well, I mean, it's just a great tournament to begin with. Like, it happens every 3 years. Like, World Cup is what, every 4 years, right?
The World Cup is
So
every 4 years.
it's
Olympics
more
is
con
four.
it's more often than the World Cup. It's less games, but even just from pool play, the fans are into it. Like, a question that was asked is like, why isn't Miami like the biggest sports market in the world? Because you see the crowds that fill out Lone Depot. But like, first of all, it's a small stadium and the stadium's not even in Miami.
Mhm.
But still the amount of people that they can get out there to watch these games, and you see how passionate these fans are. A couple before I went on a spring break trip last week, we were staying in South Florida, and a couple of my friends were able to go to the USA Dominican Republic game, and they
Nice,
said
nice.
like 70% of the fans there were Dominican Republicans. Like
Hmm.
they were they had bells, they had like kazoos, whatever they got.
Hmm.
Like it was like pandemonium. Unfortunately, it wasn't as exciting of a game as I thought it would be. It was more of like a bullpen duel, but still, you had like so much talent on one field.
Yeah.
And it was still a great game to watch.
I
Now
think
I
the
want to
MLB
ask
does
you.
a. Oh, okay.
Go ahead. No, 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 go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, I just think the MLB is doing a really good job of going internationally. Which you
Hmm.
look at the NFL. The NFL's been trying to do this for what, 10 years almost. They've been playing in Great Britain. The MLB. I mean, it's much easier when you have guys who are from South America and Central America and even places like Canada.
Asia.
But in Asia,
Netherlands.
like, yeah, the Netherlands, if you even want to fucking count that. I mean, but like they're doing a much better job than the NFL, and it seems like they're able to grab a hold of these international fans much easier. And I also think it boils down to baseball is a much easier game to understand. I'm not expecting somebody from England to pick up football in a year's time. But baseball is one of those sports where you could put a 5-year-old in front of the TV and they would understand. It's pretty straightforward. And they kept it interesting. I mean, the guys when we got in an argument with Donnie, wherever the fuck he's at, I don't know. But
Picking up sticks.
when these guys really like care about their country and who was it? Ronald Acuna came out and was like, I care more about this than I do the World Series because you get to
Well,
represent your country.
he was crying the entire like defensive inning of the ninth inning, and even the pitcher Palencia, he was crying before he threw the last pitch. Like I
Could
just
you
feel
imagine
like
if
that's
if
insane passion.
it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, could you imagine if an MLB player in the regular season did that, was crying in the ninth inning?
Well,
I mean,
it's
they would
it's
be,
more it's obviously more than a
yeah,
regular season. It's a tournament.
yeah.
Um, but even in the playoffs, I've never seen anything like that. Even when you could be up, 3-0 in the World Series, and you're up a couple runs, and you're down to the last out. You don't see players showing any emotion before like that last out is recorded. Like it's
Yeah.
always like I've never seen that. It was
You rarely see
remarkable.
guys cry after the game, too. It's pretty rare, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well, yeah.
No
Yeah.
one on the Phillies cried because none of them
Well, they
cared,
didn't win.
except, yeah, I know, because when they lost, no one
Oh,
cried.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they lost. Yeah.
Just to like add in, I think it ties into the point, and we were having this conversation at the gym yesterday of does it just mean more to these other countries? On the basis of the MLB is the biggest baseball league. I know the KBO, I think that's Japan, right? I know that they're
No,
very,
it's
or is that
Korea.
Yeah,
Korea?
it's
Korea.
Korea.
KBO. What's the Japanese one?
Probably the JBO. I don't know. Japan
I, I,
Baseball
I know that
Organization.
JBL.
I
Yeah.
know that I know that Asia has a couple leagues that are a big deal and they pack it out over there. But we get to see almost in a way like streaming baseball is so normalized in our country. I think for some of these other countries, it's because of the time difference and all that. Like this is the time where they get to see all their players from their nation on one team where they come together, and I think it is a fair statement to make that it just means a little bit more to them than it does to the US. And I also think that that was represented by the way that the players acted on the field, the way that you know like I think early on when the US was playing in some of these pool play games, and I have another question to kind of wrap this segment up about the future of the tournament. But I think you could see early on the passion in some of the pool play games where the Dominican Republic was going to beat the crap out of whoever they played, but somebody hit a home run and they were celebrating like it was Game 7 of the World Series. And with the U.S. It's and it was more of like a quote unquote as was told yesterday, a class thing surrounding baseball. But kind of what are your thoughts on that of, does it mean more, do you think, to some of these other countries?
I think absolutely because when we're talking on a cultural level, like that's what these players are playing for. You know, it's their people. You know, when it's their MLB teams, teams that they just get drafted to, teams they just get traded to, teams that offer them the most money. You know, they say they win for their fans, but like their fans, they appreciate the fans because they're the ones paying their paycheck. I think it's so much different when you're playing for your people.
Also, when you're playing for your people, I mean, you're coming out of, let's say, the Dominican Republic. All the people in the Dominican Republic are excited to watch you play in the MLB. So they might not be a team of, the Mariners last year with the Eugenio Suarez, but they're watching you. That's what
Hmm.
they're excited for. And 100% it means something. It means more to these other countries than the United States. As far as the class thing goes, I think it's a little ridiculous. I don't think anybody really cares about winning with class as much as people used to. I think that there needs to be obviously be some level of sportsmanship. You don't want to be a sore loser and you don't want to be a sore winner. But when it comes down to the World Baseball Classic, it's much better for the game itself when you watch these guys running out after every home run. It makes it way more interesting
Hmm.
instead of something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like these Dominicans, these Venezuelans, they go nuts. So it was this, it wasn't the other thing.
Yeah. All right. But to wrap it up, just I want a quick answer from the both of you. Shy and I have touched on this briefly. You said that you like the style of the tournament and the way that it is. Would you say though, do you think reasonably the tournament should be maybe shrunk a little bit because some of the nations that we are seeing get in, they never win. They maybe win one game against the other crappy countries. Also, we have discussed on here before how somewhat ridiculous it is that you can get like the ways that you can get onto some of these teams based on, your heritage, or you can look far down your family lineage and find a way that you were somehow Dutch and now you're playing for the Netherlands and you've never been to the Netherlands. You know nothing about it, but you somehow are on the team. Do you think that it is possible that we could see some countries maybe cut out
Yeah.
or maybe add a qualifier system for them to make their way in?
Let me add to the question. Let me add to the question. Would you also move the World Baseball Classic to a different time, like somewhere in the middle of the season or after the season? Because I have my own opinions on this, but we want to hear from you.
Um, well, when it comes to the expansion or shrinkage of the tournament, I don't think that you should look at teams that haven't had success before and base that on your decision because until this year, Italy hadn't made a semifinal, and they
It's
were
a good
actually
point.
a very good, well put together team who you know, you didn't have like exactly star after star in the lineup, but you just got guys who were, passing the bat. And I mean, Pasquantino had a great tournament.
Dante
Even
Nori.
though, yeah, that's literally, yeah, Dante Nori is not your superstar, but he had a good tournament and he was a good leader for the Italy team. But um, so yeah when I don't think you should look at, previous success when it comes to that because I think Italy is a good example of overcoming that. When it comes to the loopholes of some players, you find out you're 1/8 Dutch and now you're Team Netherlands. I think that shouldn't be scrutinized so much that it is just because it is giving like an opportunity for some of these guys who maybe wouldn't have uh, a more important role on the team that they actually deserve to be on. It gives them an opportunity to play in this fabulous tournament. And then when it comes to what time of the year this tournament should occur, I think it's hard. It would be too hard to put it in the middle of the regular season because I mean, baseball is just a pastime at this point. You play 162 games. Like no one's ever complained about the season being too long or too short. Like I feel like 162 games has always been just what it is. You get to watch your team go out there play every day because the baseball is one of those sports. I wish football was like that, but you would need 400 man rosters.
Yeah.
Um, and the only downside of that, I believe, is that bats are cold coming out of the off season, and you get these, high leverage games with the best arms. The best arms are going to continue to be the best arms, you know, but the bats are going to be cold, so you get finals that end in scores like 2-1, the USA DR game, and 3-2, the final. So I guess. And even 3 years ago, the final between USA and Japan was also 3-2, I believe, because you had the only USA runs were
Yeah.
from Schwarber and I think, yeah, Turner had a home run too, just solo shots from them.
Well, I think you make a really good point about it gives these teams a better chance at competing with a team like Japan or Korea or Venezuela, whatever that may be, for a team like Italy and Netherlands. I also think it gives a chance for these prospects who might not play a lot in spring training, but they're going to play a lot in the World Baseball Classic. I think Dante Nori's a prime example. Um, who knows how much he would have
Absolutely.
played in spring training? I mean, what is he is the number one prospect or something like that, or like not the number one, but the number whatever. I know he's top 10. So
Yeah, he's a young guy who was able to display his talent
mhm,
on um, in a very
yeah,
important tournament and
yeah.
do it for his people. So,
As far as moving the tournament, for me personally, it's got to be really difficult because think of it like this. There is a manager for Team USA, but you've got 25 to 30 other managers technically, which is the owners of these teams saying like, hey, he can pitch, do whatever. Tarek Skubal, for example, he's going to pitch 50 pitches and he's going to pitch one game and that's it. He's not doing anything else. I'm surprised Skeens went as long as he did, but it's got to be difficult for a manager when you've got other people in your ear telling you what to do with these players. So maybe they could do something in the middle of the season where they take a 2 week break like the NHL does for the Olympics and they
mhm.
hold off all games. Again, like it goes back to the bats being cold. You don't want guys sitting who, like, let's say, for example, Trey Turner is hitting 300 for 10 games straight and then the season just stops. It's not fair to any of these teams. Same with pitchers' arms. I don't think it would be the best idea, but it's strange because baseball is one of those sports where, you know, pitchers are pitching less because, they're getting paid more. And these guys are getting paid more and you don't want to risk any injury. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's at a good time. I wouldn't have a problem with them switching. As far as shortening the teams, you can do either way. But I think it's going to be interesting no matter what they would do.
Yeah, I think you kind of, for what you just said, they got to leave it where it is because if you put it in the middle of the season, you can't just pause the MLB. And then obviously now, if you're pulling the best players off of every team, that's what people are drawn to see. So you can't really just keep the season going without, you can't play two different leagues at once. It wouldn't do as well for either, obviously. So I think they kind of have to leave it where it is, or, you know, it's a long season. It stretches over a long span of time. The off season is shorter for baseball, I think, than other sports. So, kind of, I like where it is. I don't have a problem. And it's a nice introduction right into the baseball season.
Gets you
Mhm.
excited.
But that wraps the conversation of the WBC. Hopefully, in 3 years, the U.S., will revisit this and see, who's on the roster. But,
There's got to be a manager change. It can't be
yeah,
DeRosa again
I agree.
for the third
I agree.
tournament in a row.
But,
But that's also weird. Because I don't know. I don't know how they pick these guys because there's no way any MLB manager is going to go out and coach Team USA in the middle of spring training. It just wouldn't make any sense. So I always wonder like how they pick these guys off out of the middle of, the pack. So who knows? Who knows? I feel like I could go out there and do a better job.
yeah.
That's just me. I don't
You're
know.
When was
good.
the last time you played baseball?
Uh, you're forgetting I'm a champion in rec. So first of all,
Yep.
that's fucking Atlantic champion on the Pirates center fielder. Fuckface. Okay, so
Third string catcher too.
third
Center
string
fielder?
catcher as well. Center
Center
fielder.
fielder? You know why they put
Mhm.
you out there?
Because I
Because nobody
track.
could fucking hit it that far. All right? So keep your damn mouth shut and
We had
let's
we had a
let's move
fucking
on.
lockdown. We had a
Keep your
lockdown fucking
keep your
pitching.
mouth keep your mouth shut and let's move on. So,
did you have Brandon DeCurligan on the bump? No, I didn't think so.
well,
We
I
did.
quit after
Foreskin
Matt
too.
August. I quit
Yeah.
after Matt Augustine blew our season up. Actually, he was the best player in the league, and we couldn't get it done. Shout out the Pirates. Shout out Justin Seligman. Um, so now we have our other guest. He is in the waiting room. We're going to start and talk about the Phillies because there are three Phillies fans on here. Our other guest, Donnie, is a Yankees fan. We're going to let him in right now. I did not text him, so hopefully he's just in front of his computer. But he has been admitted to the room. Yo, you got to have your camera on for this and your mic unmuted. Holy
Yo, hop
crap.
off. All right. I just joined the meeting.
All right, so we're live right now. Donnie is in. We've got our full panel of
You look like a
guests.
Guido.
And you look like something else I can't. I just hopped out the shower, bro.
All right. So yeah, so we're gonna start by talking about the Phillies because that is a majority of the people in here are Phillies fans. The Phillies
That's cool.
actually today, I got a tweet from Matt Gelb that gave an official roster. Really nothing much of note outside of guys who are on IL, and honestly, kind of the most significant thing I guess is Rafael Marchand is on the roster over Garrett Stubbs. I don't know if that was a decision, but I mean I think that was a point of contention for some people. But to just name a roster, Real Muto, Marchand, Harper, Stott, Turner, Bohm, Sosa, Moore, Marsh, Crawford, Garcia, Kemp, Sanchez, Nola, Luzardo, Walker, Painter, Duran, Keller, Alvarado, Banks, Bolin, Pop, Backus, Miza, and then on the IL is Zach Wheeler, Orion Kerkering, and Max Lazar. And then he's tweeted after that, oh, Kyle Schwarber also made the team. So, yeah.
Tim Mesa made your
Nice one, Matt
roster.
Gill.
But that's the
Did
official
Keyboom did
roster.
Keyboom not make the roster?
I mean, he played 8 games last season,
I
so
mean, I don't know
probably
how many. I
won't.
mean, I just saw that
I,
we
yeah,
traded
we
for him.
traded it for him yesterday,
Yeah.
but yeah. So where I'll hand it off to Jack first, and then Shy, you can jump in, Don, if you have anything to add. Um, but honestly, as the season has kind of approached, I think the Harper home run in the WBC definitely contributed to my excitement because it kind of brought me back to 2022, that home run against the Padres. I'm excited for Crawford. I'm excited for Painter. The pitching staff is a little bit of a worry to me if Painter maybe out of the gate isn't super hot because then again, Nola just pitched a good WBC but has struggled in the past year in the MLB. So the pitching staff could be a little bit shaky until we get Zach Wheeler back. But I'm excited. I think there's a little bit of enough of a shakeup to the roster that I can get excited.
Yeah, we're not exactly. I'd say this is the most different looking team than we've had since, you know, to start 2022, really. We got rid of the traffic cone Castellanos. Um, we have young guys like Painter and Crawford. Um, Bryson Stott is being treated as an adult. He's not in some stupid fucking daycare. Um, I want to keep an eye out for that Jonathan Bowling guy. He throws pretty hard, and if you could rely on him to, I don't know, eat some innings, that would be great. Also, Brad Keller. Brad Keller didn't do. He was on Team USA and he had a bad outing against Italy. Not a bad outing, but he just didn't. He wasn't shut down. Um, but no one was really great in that Italy game. Um, I'm just gonna circle back to this because Donnie wasn't there for the WBC thing, but Aaron Judge sucks.
Yeah,
Um,
we're gonna get to
but
that.
anyway,
All
And
right.
then
anyway,
All right.
I'm gonna mute him if
back to the
I'm gonna mute
Phillies.
him.
Uh,
Muted. He's muted. Um,
I think you can be optimistic.
he is
I
muted.
think I think you can be optimistic about maybe an Aaron Nola bounce back season. Not to a full extent, but he won't maybe be a fully, shitter useless like he was last year. And that's like kind of all you need. I can't believe Taiwan Walker is still pitching for us.
Yeah,
It won't be
seriously.
for long.
Um,
It's not going to be for long.
yeah, but
I like him because he's a guy who can eat innings when you're up. Because he's going to end up being a reliever. He's not going to
Yeah.
be starting the entire year.
My
You need a
concern,
mid-relief guy.
well,
my
well, but
concern
he
is
is
though.
he is your sixth guy, assuming Painter is like does well, you know? Like, and you gotta assume that still. Like, Painter could come out of the gate and, be a little wish-washy, and it's not someone you can rely on. And then you'll have to go to the veteran, Taiwan Walker. And I just I can't believe we're still doing that.
Uh,
But
I mean, I think you can expect Painter to be a
Easter.
little bit shaky to start. I mean, he's just getting up to the big leagues. He wasn't amazing in the minors. I mean, every rookie pitcher is going to be shaky at the start, adjusting to big league hitting. And I don't think,
Also
even if he
coming off a
struggles,
big injury
I
as well.
I don't think
he's
that
not really coming off that anymore.
Yeah, he had a
as
full
long as
season
he's
in
Wow.
not
Triple
like,
A.
as long as he's not throwing batting practice, I don't really see a reason to pitch Walker. I think you kind of have to develop Painter. You don't want to be the Yankees where you just sit on your eggs forever. Like you got to let him pitch unless he's absolutely terrible.
Well, it's being Wheeler being hurt is what's allowing Painter to kind of get this moment right now. I don't know
Mhm.
what they would have done had he not been hurt. I don't know if they would have had Walker in the rotation or Painter.
They probably
Because
would have waited. They probably would have
I
waited
bet they would have waited.
half the
I
year.
bet they would have.
They would have waited half the
Probably.
year, and they would have brought him
This
up at the
might have
worst
needed to
possible time.
happen.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
would have brought him up at the worst possible time, probably at a point in the minor league season where he wasn't going to be ready, and it would have been a panic decision where they're like, okay, well, fuck, Taiwan's pitching like shit, so now we're going to bring up Painter and see what he can do.
Mm.
And I don't know. I mean, maybe you're probably right. The Wheeler injury is probably the best thing that could have happened for Andrew Painter. As far as the season goes for me, it's hard to get excited after the last 4 years that we've seen it. It's like Groundhog Day. It's essentially the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
But this is definitely
And
the most fresh team coming out of the gate since 2022. Like,
it's hard to get
at this
excited,
point,
is my point.
it's not
Like,
it's not a better team than what we started with in, 2023, 2024, but having a better roster clearly doesn't mean anything because
Mhm.
those seasons didn't lead to anything. I'd rather see some fresh faces, and that's what I'm excited for.
well, it leads
Yeah,
me to my other thing. I think with the Harper, to compare Harper and Nola, I also wanted to ask, do you think it's fair to, I guess, I'm trying to word this correctly. Nola pitched well in the World Baseball Classic in the one game that he played. What was it, five inning or
he
two games
pitched
he
a
played?
couple games. He pitched a couple
Yeah,
games.
he pitched 5 innings total, I'm pretty sure, but it was
He
like
looked good. He
zero,
looked
I thought
good.
it
zero
was more than that.
ERA,
Yeah,
zero ERA, five strikeouts. Like, I don't think it's fair to worry about Nola and bash Nola and then expect a different result from Bryce on how he played in the World Baseball Classic. Bryce didn't play well up until the last game against Venezuela with the 2-run home run. So I'm of the belief that
I haven't seen people bashing Bryce. Is it
because
WIP?
it's non-existent. It's
He
non-existent.
probably would have gotten bashed if he didn't hit that home run, but he
if he
did, so
didn't,
you
oh
can't
yeah,
say
But
anything.
but
yeah.
I don't think that gives him an excuse to not be criticized.
I
No,
At
don't
all.
think
Nola
it's the end
Nola
of the
went
world.
9 innings total, one earned run, and 8 strikeouts.
No, Nola was great.
Probably, yeah.
But I think the reason you're shaky and you're worried about Aaron Nola is the last time we saw Aaron Nola in a Phillies uniform having to pitch, it was not good for a whole year. It was not good. That's the reason for concern.
Noah's
Um,
final game I didn't think was terrible in the
No, he pitched
playoffs.
fine that.
I
Yeah,
thought
he
he
I
pitched
pitched
didn't
fine
great.
in
What
that
was it? It
one.
was
I didn't
four
watch
innings
any
and
of the
what, I don't
I
playoffs.
even
think
think
it
there
was like
was
three. I think it was only three. They had him on
whatever
a
it
short leash
was.
just
Yeah.
because it's Aaron Nola.
But in those 3 innings, it was great. You couldn't
Right, but you're
really
not
ask for
putting,
a better outing.
I get it that rotations change as the years go on, as the year goes on, guys miss a start, guys want an extra day of rest, whatever the case may be. But, if you had at the end of last season, going into this season, said Aaron Nola was going to get the ball on day two, you'd probably been like, hmm, I don't know. But, they didn't bring back Ranger Suarez, which I think most of us thought wasn't going to happen. Can we all agree with that?
He got
Yeah.
And
overpaid.
and Wheeler, it looks like Wheeler is on a faster pace to get back than what we initially thought. He's throwing already. They think that they could have him back. I think that the number was maybe by start of June is maybe what I read. I could be wrong, but I think they think that they're going to get him back. We extended Sanchez today, which I really like. Extended Luzardo. I really like that.
I don't know. I just
So
think it's frustrating, especially when you have the third highest, fourth highest amount of money in baseball, and you don't really go out. do anything. I mean, I would have liked to sign Bregman. I thought that would have been great. I don't really think I'm not really too comfortable with Bohm being in that four-hole spot whatsoever. And I think that's also something that's going to change. I don't think we're going to see that last for a long time either. Now, as far as the lineup goes, what do you think? What do you think the lineup's going to be opening day hitting wise?
Um, like probably
Let's just
it'll
do the
go.
first three. Let's go the first three.
Okay. Um, well, within April and May, I feel like, Schwarber and Turner kind of toss around between one and two.
Schwarber's got to be
Um,
two. Schwarber's got to be two.
Harper and then Bohm. And then I think you're kind of forced a hand to put Marsh in a five spot. You could put Adolis six. Um, you could go Stott or JT seven or eight, switch them around,
Yeah,
and
Crawford's
then
hitting a
Crawford as double leadoff.
yeah, yeah. I would, I
I
would,
mean,
I
it
would
would work
agree.
with me.
No,
As long as
yeah,
they're not platooning out in center field, it doesn't matter to me.
yeah. Otto Kemp is a piece that I like too. I thought he did some nice things for us
Hmm.
last season. He's versatile. He can play in a variety of
He's having a good
spots.
spring too.
Um, just to kind of close it out. Well, you sort of put a bow on it, but one last question before we kind of get to where you view this team within the NL East. Do you think there's any chance that Aiden Miller is up this year? I don't know what kind of spring he's
Yeah,
had, but
yeah, yeah. Definitely in the cards. But the way this franchise has kind of chose to develop their players, it's like not a guarantee. But
mhm,
I think that he could be ready.
yeah,
Probably not before June,
yeah,
but he also plays a position that we're, pretty we have a lot of depth in. You have Sosa, you have Kemp, you have Bohm. Kemp is more of like a utility guy at this point. I think you're going to see him a lot in left field, platooning with Marsh, um, which I'm totally fine with
oh yeah, me
because
as well.
Marsh cannot hit lefties. Um, but I think there's a lot of ways to go at this season, and that's just what I'm excited to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Um,
I think it's definitely possible. You know, just in the course of any sports season, you never know with injuries. Phillies have had like three guys get suspended within the last like two seasons. So
Mhm.
who
Which is
knows what?
hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, it is funny. The
Which is
horse tranquilizer
hilarious.
thing with Rojas is
I mean,
ridiculous. But
remember
yeah, I
when
mean,
PEDs used to be like something that were like not taken seriously, but if you were on them, you were good.
yeah, like it would
Like you
make
were
you
good. It actually
yeah.
made a difference if you were good.
Well, they're
Like,
drug testing anyone now. They used
yeah,
to only drug test the good guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So it's just
yeah,
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I think maybe unfortunately Harper goes down. Bohm now has to play at first. Maybe Miller's a guy that we see sooner rather than later. But just quick, right off the top of the dome, I'm asking you right now, everybody in here, where do the Phillies finish? Just simply their place in the division.
They'll
second
win
at
it.
best. Second at best. I think a big factor, a big variable is Aaron Nola. Like,
Okay. I'm sorry. Keep going.
bro,
Keep going. Keep
no,
going.
that's a fan looking in. I mean, if you guys have consistent pitching, like Aaron Nola pitched well in the WBC, which I mean, it was a little bit surprising, but I mean, preseason pitchers are always ahead of the hitters. They start a month earlier. He looked good. Don't get me wrong. And I pulled up his baseball savant. Like he's got like pretty trash numbers, but things that stand out are like his chase rate, his ground ball rate. If he's like consistent, because he's a guy that's generally pretty healthy. Like if he's a consistent quality start guy, like I can see him being a big help. Obviously he's not shut down. He's not great. He had a 6 ERA last year, but 2 years ago he had a like 3.5, maybe 3.6. So if he's consistent, he's a guy that you can rely on to be healthy and give your pitching staff some depth. Give Painter a little bit more breathing room to develop. Because if your pitching staff is trash, like they're really not going to give Painter much room if he's not pitching well. Which I kind of expect him to be shaky. It's his first year. So
they're giving Nola all the help they can though because they're sandwiching him in the rotation between Sanchez and Luzardo, two guys who I'm not worried about at all. I think they're
yeah,
fantastic
yeah,
arms.
you're
So
putting Noel in a good spot.
they're giving him all the help he needs. And to answer Hayden's question, I think they win the division again, third
That's
year
what
in a
I
row.
think.
Don?
I'm of the belief that they're going to win the division. I
Well,
feel like I've said it
And
time
that
and
should
time
be the
again.
expectation.
Yeah, that's what should happen. But I'm not going to jump to conclusions like with the playoffs because that's very far away.
I
Mhm.
We've
just
won the
see I see
division. We
some.
won the division last year, and it didn't make a difference. We won the division 2 years prior to that, or no, excuse me, a year prior to that, and it
Back to
didn't make
back
a
years.
difference. So I think they're going to win the division. I think in the long run, it would be much more beneficial if they don't, and they can get in that wild card and stay hot.
Yeah.
I
That's where I'm
think they
at.
can win. Like if their pitching stays healthy, like I was saying, and Painter is decent, I can see you guys having a top five staff and winning the division. But if you know you have injuries, Wheeler's delayed, or Nola just sucks again, which obviously could happen, I could see the Mets who, they're still the Mets. Like they're trash. They're gonna
They
find
will
a way to
Met. They
lose.
will
They
Met.
will Met, but it comes to a point where you sign so many good players where you're gonna win games. They signed Peralta for the top of their staff. So it's still not a great staff, but it's gotten better. I mean, the Phillies hitting, as we know, is streaky. It's inconsistent. Bryce Harper, if he didn't hit that 2-run bomb in the
Yeah.
championship, you'd be questioning, if his batting average is how
Well,
that's going to be.
But he
So
did, so we can't.
he did, but at the end of the day, I mean, he had like two hits.
well, the Mets, the
So we'll
Mets,
see.
the Mets, and
Fourth.
Steve Epstein Cohen do something differently than we do, which is spend money. He
Yeah,
came
I
in and was
mean,
like, "We're going to spend money, and we're going to try and make this team as good as possible."
as for the
Um,
Braves, dude, I have no idea where to stand with them. They find a way to get hurt. They just had like one of their middle infielders like sprain his middle finger in Korea. Like what? Like that only happens to the Braves.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't
saw
even
that.
know. I mean,
Um,
FanDuel has you guys as the
High Sung Kim,
as
I think.
to FanDuel has you guys to finish third below the Braves, which
We
I think
don't
is
we
Sky in
a
don't
the
we
little
don't
bit.
odds. The
we don't
sky in
yeah,
the
keep betting
enough
on
of
odds.
that
Yankee
shit.
games.
I'm just
Enough of
saying
that shit.
FanDuel knows more than all of us. So I
I,
mean, if you guys are
Oh,
projecting.
Okay. We have rules. We have rules on this show. We don't talk betting. But yeah, I'll
unless
go
they
with the
come to us with a check and they're like,
yes,
"Hey,
that
here's
that was
five
our deal.
grand to give us a 20-second ad on FanDuel," which I will be plugging in immediately after saying how bad gambling is.
I will
So,
I'll go with the Phillies to finish uh
Second.
shit. I'll go second, but I think first anywhere from first to
well, because you're a
third.
hater, you're a hater.
I'm
No,
not
no,
a
no. I'll
so,
go
wait,
se
second, but they make the playoffs.
second, but they have a good
wild
year.
card.
But I could definitely see I could also see
The
the
Mets
Mets
just
having a good
having a
year.
better year.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
think they make it. I'm not saying they don't make it, but um
okay.
I think second would be my realistic guess, but if they come in first or they come in third, I also wouldn't be shocked.
Oh, for
I mean, it
sure.
wouldn't surprise
I'm
me,
with you there. I
but
can see
like,
them winning.
I mean, the Braves and the Mets are just, I feel like within all of this, somehow the Phillies are just maybe the most competent or
Consistent.
fortunate organization. I mean, the Mets do Mets things like previously mentioned, and the Braves like jerks and Profar are suspended for 100 the whole season. Like
Whole year,
that's
the
ridiculous.
whole
Nobody knows
year.
what
But
Yeah.
nobody knows what's going on.
yeah, we'll let Donnie go on the Yankees for about 5 minutes. Just give his thoughts on that is his team, and then we're gonna do division winners, just the division winners. We're not really talking about it. Just give your division winner, maybe like a short little explanation, and then the topic that I'm most intrigued about. We're gonna talk about some ballpark foods that are coming in this season and the changes to Citizens Bank Park because we're not all Phillies fans, but Citizens Bank Park is our go-to, and there's been
For,
some
for, for
business
me.
takeover at Citizens Bank Park. So go ahead, Donnie.
Um, I'm not going to speak too long on it. You guys are all Phillies fans, but I do think the Yankees win the division again. I think Aaron
Ooh.
Judge wins a third, straight MVP. Nothing new. The Blue Jays, I see them falling off a bit. I think this was a magic in a bottle, type season. I don't see them finishing higher than second at best in the division. Um, and I mean, I think we can just move into division winners. You guys don't want to hear me talk about the Yankees all day.
No,
No, I
I
mean,
don't really. I know you can do whatever
you
you
can
want.
go for yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
I'm intrigued. Garrett
I'll
Garrett
have
Cole
some
is
specific. I'll have some
All right, if you guys want to talk about
specific
it,
questions for
Give us your
Yan
true. Give
or
us
for Donnie.
your true opinion on Judge's performance in the World Baseball Classic first.
I mean, sure. I mean, he dominated in pool play. You know, he's a regular season guy. In the first game against Italy, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. In the second game against the DR, he had a single in the first inning, and then I think in the sixth inning, he hit a ball 410 feet, and it was robbed by Julio Rodriguez. Like, you know, if you look at the box score, you're going to see like 1 for 4 with a K, but I mean, he hit the ball over the fence. In the championship, yeah, he went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. You know, you really can't argue with that, especially against a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez who started. You can't strike out to that guy twice. He's on the Diamondbacks. He's like I think the 5. He's phasing his way out of the league. I just don't understand how you can strike out to that guy twice. You know, it helps write the narrative that he's a playoff choker, even though it was just one game. But I still don't think he should be labeled that. This past postseason, which is a much bigger sample size, he hit 500. Like, come on. The WBC championship is before the season even starts, where hitters are behind. It's one game. It's just frustrating as a fan because I mean, you know, most people aren't watching every single Yankees game, but they'll watch the WBC
Yeah.
championship. You know, it had more viewers than the
Yeah.
NBA finals.
All eyes are on you. All eyes
All
are
eyes
on
are,
you. Yeah.
and
He
the
feels
one
like to me
game.
the Connor McDavid of the MLB, sort of. He gets so close. He's the best, he's by far the best player in the league. Not by far, I should say, but top two best player. But he gets so close, and
Yeah, it's just
he can't get it
unfortunate
done. And
that
it's stuff outside of his control, it seems.
with the WBC, like I didn't really care that much. I think the sample size of 4 at bats in one game is too small. Yeah, at the end of the day, he still went 0 for 4. If he hits a home run in that game, the narrative is completely different.
Hmm.
But I don't think too deep on it. The WBC, while like I enjoy it, I appreciate it for what it is. It's less significant as a baseball fan than like a wild card series to me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when they lost, I was like, oh, man, that sucks. But if they won, I would have been like, boom, like tough. Like let's get it.
Yeah. And
That's really
you were
it.
at two of the what were you at? Two of the wild card games or three?
I went to 3 or 4 games for the Yankees
Hmm.
this past postseason. So like I
Yeah.
mean that environment was crazy. I care a lot more about those games than WBC. It's just a tough look as like a fan that doesn't watch baseball that much. You see Judge go 0 for 4 in the one game you watch, and like you're like, oh, this guy's a choker. So
As the captain.
unfortunate, but yeah, he's the captain of the team. He walked out with the flag,
he gave that
or
shitty
farming.
speech. So
Shitty speech, whatever, bro. Uh,
yeah,
He
I
did
mean,
win the MVP though
yeah, I mean
yeah,
last
he's a
season.
great
So
player.
I'm
I'm
not
not
no,
taking
I
that
don't think
away,
anyone's
but
dogging on him for being he's not you have to be a retard to think he's a shit player. I mean,
I mean, he won
well,
the last two MVPs.
there goes this segment. We now cannot post this clip
now you
without
can
a
bleep it out. You can bleep it out.
maybe
That last MVP race, I think, was absolutely ridiculous to think it was close. I think they let it be close just to give Mariners fans and Yankees haters a little bit of comfort, a little bit of closure. But at the end of the day, like I don't care that Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs. The dude hit 240. Judge's OPS was like close to 200 higher. His on base percentage was 100 higher. His batting average was 100 higher. It wasn't
You
close.
couldn't get him out.
You could this guy that was the most dominant hitter, even though he hit 62
All right, Ash
bombs in
Cash. All right,
22.
Ash Cash.
No, that was the most. I think that was the most
she
dominant
already made
season
an
from him.
appearance actually today. You guys
Yeah.
missed it, but she made an appearance.
Oh shit.
um, yeah, no, I mean, I I agree. Like he's an incredible player. I think also what matters is, it's the only game on and he came up in a lot of, seemingly big spots late in games and, you know, I think he did strike out, ground out. So, I mean, it is what it
Yeah,
is.
and
It's
he
not
was
a
getting pitches. He was getting pitches to hit too. It's a bad game when all the lights are on you. It sucks. But
also
I
like
mean, we'll.
a local team to you had their star player hit, the big home run.
I mean,
It's
as
the
a
Twitter
Bryce,
space. I don't think you're on Twitter, but being in the Twitter space, that's kind of
I
that kind
mean,
of narrative is pushed.
I've been a Bryce Harper hater for a long time now, and like most of that hate was kind of washed away with that home run. Like it was pretty awesome to see.
You even said throughout the tournament though you were starting to like him.
I mean, yeah, I mean he's the guy that like has the most aura. Like
And
when
you
he
know how to
steps up,
hate. You know how to
I
hate.
mean
So it says something. I
I'm
think
one
it
of the
does say
biggest
something.
haters.
Yeah.
I'm one of the
You know how
best
to hate.
haters I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for Schwarber too. But I'm having Harper up in that spot to tie the game in the eighth of the championship. Like I was comfortable. You know, he got a pitch to hit. He middle change up. I think maybe a sinker hit it 450, and then Judge
Sinker, I think.
follows it up with a strikeout. So I got a lot more respect for Bryce Harper. If they won the game, I might have gotten a Team USA jersey for him. But unfortunately,
Mm.
Garrett
Yeah,
Whitlock
well,
went
you'd have
out
been
there and
throwing your money away to Fanatics, so
Yeah.
you
well, I
got to
mean, I
hop
Oh,
on
can't be
his
I
wearing.
wagon.
thought he was going
terrible
down.
jerseys they
I
were
thought he was
putting
going
out.
down swinging
Terrible.
on a high fastball. That's
I
that's
thought,
what
I
I
mean,
thought was
he
going
he
to
was
happen.
getting 92 blown by him the
Yeah.
entire tournament, and I mean, they
He
put
just
one
swings out of his
middle.
fucking shoes, I feel like.
You
That's
put pitches middle for Bryce Harper enough times. Eventually, he's going to guess right, and he does the biggest stage. So even though Judge is obviously better, Harper stepped up when it mattered. He had one significant hit the entire tournament, and he'll be remembered as the guy who stepped up, not Judge. So I got a lot more respect for Harper. I don't hate him anymore.
Yeah.
Him and Schwarber both, but especially Harper because I really didn't like him.
I don't know how you can hate Schwarber. I mean, the
No,
guy's
yeah.
you can't. No, he just hits. He just hits.
yeah.
He's
We're on the topic of the Yankees, so let's just start off with the AL East. I feel like let's just have
Yeah,
Donnie
I like
So
that.
we're just gonna
because you
give
saw the Blue
just a
Jays in the
pick.
World Series.
Yeah.
What do you think the Yankees land division wise?
He said he thought they
first.
won. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
So
First,
so
I
everybody just
think
go around, just do their
Okay.
winner for who it is. So we'll start the American League East. For those of you who don't know, it's the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Rays. So Donnie went with the Yankees. Jack will go to you.
Yankees.
I'll go with the Blue Jays. You know, just came off a World Series, so I think it's the right pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the deep dive of different divisions in baseball.
Yeah. Neither do I
um
really, but I'll go with the Yankees. I think getting Cole back is a big deal. So
I
I'll
I
go
think
with
mean,
Blue
I
that.
Jays
think
enter the All-Star break in the lead, and then deadline happens, and the Yankees make like five trades as they do, and then they take
Mhm.
it out in front.
I think the Yankees pitching staff, when it gets fully healthy, closer to the summer, is going to be probably the best in the American League. Um, and the Blue Jays, I mean, they just overpaid for Dylan Cease, and I think the players that broke out for them and performed so well in the playoffs that got them to that World Series, like the
You
Ernie
hate Ernie
Clements,
Clement. You
like
hate Ernie Clement.
come on, Ernie Clement batted like 400 in the playoffs. He couldn't get out in the playoffs. I just don't see something like
Whoa,
that happening.
whoa. I might be late I don't know, but this was 5 hours ago. Scary scene down in Clearwater.
Yeah,
Daniel
Daniel
Robert had
Robert.
to be taken away by EMS after suffering a medical event, stumbling off the mound and grabbing his chest.
The
I
second
didn't
time in
even
like
see that.
6 months that happens.
To him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he threw like one of his last bullpens before heading into the off season on Halloween. And they had to use like a defibrillator to like
That's
fucking
scary. Prayers up
yeah,
That's
to
yeah,
him.
that yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. MLB will go out and drug test him before they fucking do anything else.
Yeah.
too much bag.
Yeah.
All right. AL Central. We've got the White Sox, Guardians, Tigers, Royals, and the Twins.
I'm gonna say the Guardians. I don't know. Don't fucking look at me. I don't fucking know.
I'll go
Uh,
with
Probably the Tigers though, most likely.
now I think the Tigers are in a bad spot and blockbuster major deal Scooble's dealt at the deadline because they kind of got to make a decision soon.
To the Dodgers.
So
they're not a World Series caliber team. They were, a championship series team at best with two straight Cy Youngs from Scooble. I think he could be dealt at the deadline, or I could see them losing in maybe the wild card, and then he goes and signs with the Mets or something.
so are you going with the
Uh,
Tigers?
I'm probably gonna go with the Guardians. I think they're consistent. I think Jose Ramirez, if something happens to Judge, he could win an MVP. But I could also see the Royals being good, but I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
Guardians.
That's my pick. I'm gonna go
Did
with
they also
Kansas
just
City.
defer money? Jose Ramirez's contract?
No, he's on a super team friendly deal. He's getting paid like 25 M's. He's worth
Mm.
probably closer to 40. I mean, he's beloved in Cleveland. He'll have a statue.
Jack?
This is the Tigers' last chance at a World Series for with Scooble. They're not getting him back. They're not going to deal him at the deadline. Like they're going to make a push for this World Series. I think they're going to get out hot too. I think signing Framber was a right move for them.
Oh yeah,
They
good
they
move.
got to hope that guys like Spencer Torkelson, Kerry
Kenny
Carpenter, Riley
Carpenter.
Green, they continue to just hit because they have the pitching. Um,
Do you see Javi Baez being good again? I mean, he kind of came out
mm,
of nowhere with a
um,
decent season last year after being trash.
he was a decent 8-hole hitter. He just needs to be decent. Like
Is Max Clark up this year?
no.
He's super young.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah,
dumb
he's
haircut and
probably
can't
like
catch a fly ball.
yeah. I'm not much of a fan of his. He is yeah.
AL
But
West.
That's a fun one.
Angels. We've got the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros. Forget the other two teams.
Give
But
me the
the Angels and
Rangers.
the A's are there
I
still.
think I think the Mariners got lucky. They had Cal Raleigh have the best Mariners season for them since Griffey Jr. He was, I mean, I don't think we see Cal Raleigh produce nearly what he did last year. The Rangers went and traded for Mackenzie Gore. They have DeGrom. They have Evaldi. I think that they win the division, and there's not much competition other than maybe the Mariners.
The Astros. I mean, the Astros have been like the model of consistency. I feel like
They're
for
not
steady.
consistent. I mean, they missed the playoffs last year. I mean, their guys are just getting older. They just traded for Carlos Correa, picked up a pretty bad contract for a dude that's just getting older. I mean, Altuve, he's getting old. They lost Framber Valdez. I think they finished third.
Jordan and Pena are nice players. Though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jordan,
I was gonna
he's just
say
battled injuries.
I was gonna say I think I'll probably agree. Go Texas and then Seattle, and then Houston, and then Angels.
However,
I
the
would
Athletics,
Just there.
I like what the Athletics have done a lot. They signed their core guys to most of their core guys to pretty decent deals. I don't think they're bad. I think they're around 500 this year for the first time in a while. I don't mind the A's. I could see the
mhm.
A's finishing if the A's perform well. I could see them finishing third. I like
I'm going
that.
to say
I'm
Seattle.
Jack.
I'm gonna say Texas. I just think they have one of the best staffs, pitching staffs in the league, and I think you're gonna see guys like Seager, he'll step up, and then Wyatt Langford, Gator alum, Wyatt
Shout out.
Langford. Go Gators tonight, 7 o'clock. Be there.
They play.
Um,
Send watch 420, 7 o'clock.
it is a sin watch.
We did the East already with the NL East. We're not gonna beat at a dead horse, but the NL Central. Looking at this division, this one could be fun. We've got the Brewers, the Cubs, the Cincinnati Reds, the Pirates, and the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with shit. I think Cincinnati makes it. I think Cincinnati makes it this year, and then I think Milwaukee wins the division.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee develops players, especially infielders and pitchers, really well. I see them winning it again. I don't think the Reds got any better. Yeah,
Didn't
Aaron
Hunter
lost
Green just get
strikeout.
hurt? Didn't Hunter Green
Yeah,
just get hurt too?
Hunter Green's
Yeah.
going to miss a couple months.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lost
yeah.
strikeout is one of the most overrated players in baseball. The Cubs are good, but they lost Tucker and replaced him with Bregman, who's probably going to be hurt. The Pirates made a few nice moves. Maybe they finish third if they have a good year.
Do you think Skeens is dealt possibly?
No.
I mean, don't aren't Skeens and Scooble both at the end of their deals? Like, wouldn't it make sense for
Yeah,
them to
but
be dealt because they're not signing where they are?
that would be the those if to those two guys got either of those guys got traded, that would be an unbelievable haul. I don't think any team would be able to give up that much, other than maybe like the
I don't
Dodgers.
think both will be traded at the deadline. I think it'll be one or the other.
Well, the
Maybe
difference
I
between
think maybe
But
Scooble and
I think
Scooble.
I could see
Skeens,
the Pirates going out and trying to. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
I
because
don't.
they're not
I'm
going to be
not
making
looking.
the playoffs. They're not going to
I'm
yeah,
make it.
not
So
looking at
exactly.
the.
I would still be surprised though. You'd have to give so much for him.
The
He
Pirates
Yeah,
aren't
he's
making a
like
World Series push. The Tigers are. That's why I don't see
yeah.
Scooble
yeah,
getting dealt, but like Skeens within,
skiing,
Yeah, but the
but can
Pirates were
who
Easton.
spending money this year. The Pirates were spending money. I
Yeah,
can
for the
see them
fr
also. I don't know.
they
they
could
didn't
be
spend that
okay.
much. They didn't spend enough.
The Pirates I feel like start the year strong pretty often. Every year I feel like they start off all right and then they kind of fall off. But I don't know who could give up enough for
You see
skiing. I mean, the
Brandon
dudes.
DeCurligan posting like "Raise the Jolly Roger" in all of April, then radio silent rest of the year.
Yeah, no, I mean he's like Roger Clemens. He's unreal. So we'll
So,
see. But
Shy,
I'm gonna say probably Milwaukee. They seem like
Jack.
the most consistent team.
I'm going with the Cubs. I just think Palencia is he's such a lockdown guy. I think he's gonna
their staff's pretty good. They
yeah.
got Boyd. They got the Japanese
Sh
guy. What's his name?
Shota,
Shoto
Shoto.
Shota
Ionaga.
Ionaga.
He took a team friendly deal. He took the qualifying offer. Surprisingly, I thought he would get a bigger deal.
He didn't have a great
Um,
season last year, so it's a
yeah,
prove
but
it
he's,
year.
he's he's I guess so. Yeah, he's good. Who else is in that staff?
I don't know.
Well, also just their offense having Swanson, PCA, I think is going to have a really good year. I
Oh,
think he'll be an all-star.
Suzuki got hurt in the WBC. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think he'll be fine. It didn't look like anything too
Yeah, I mean, I hope.
concerning. They did just trade for Edward Cabrera,
Yeah,
the Marlins
they have
guy.
Cabrera. They have Cade Horton too.
That's
So
right,
they're
and the Yankee legend James
Jameson Taillon. Yeah, dude,
Taillon.
that dude sits 85.
Well, the NL West, do we even really have to pick? I
Yeah, are we
mean,
all going
Ah,
What
Dodgers
it's
about
from
I'm
scratch?
sure
bullshit.
we're all under the same.
it's the Dodgers, but
Give me
Yeah,
the Rockies.
I'll take the
no,
Diamondbacks just for
they're not going to
fun.
make the playoffs.
Probably not.
I mean, Corbin Carroll broke his hand.
Skid,
They traded away Eugene Suarez. Um, Corbin Burns is
Eugenio.
coming off of he's coming off of a UCL tear. Yeah, I think they finish third or fourth. The Padres probably second, probably a good wild card team.
Uh,
But other than that,
yeah.
I think that division's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
Well, as Hayden
Scratch.
mentioned earlier, do have a lot of new foods at Citizens Bank Park. Just to go down the list, you got the 1883 smash burger. You've got the Schwarbomb Sundae, which is a looks like to be just a regular vanilla sundae with a sugar coated donut with some fruity pebbles. You've got the Sanchez sliders, which is a long chicken tender essentially on a tiny little bun with pickles and mayo. That sounds really good. Any excitement towards any of this or no?
Well, I
I
mean, how many like out of those items, how would you get any of them? I mean, there's a new foot long hot
If
dog
I
with a
was
PH. I
hammered,
would get
yeah.
that.
The
If I was
food's long.
hammered, but
I know you're getting that
again,
Schwarber
Whoa, whoa,
massacre.
whoa, buddy.
yeah,
How old are you? How old are
I'm
you?
getting the
wait.
Schwar. Doesn't matter. I'm
How old
getting
are
the
you?
Schwarbomb Sunday. I'm 25. I'm getting the Schwarbomb Sunday. Probably sober. That's the only thing I'm getting on that list. But I mean, the Bulls barbecue sampler. I got a Bulls barbecue pulled whatever sandwich last year, and it was like $20 for a sandwich that was like this big. It wasn't a very big sandwich, but it looks like it's got some beans on there, two pieces of white bread, coleslaw, which I don't. I mean, that shit's disgusting, and some
I'd get
burnt
that
ends.
Sanchez slider.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
probably
mean, it
would
looks
get
very
that too.
good. But if you were to blind rank these, what are you ranking them, Hayden?
I wouldn't get any of them. So, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
outside
not.
of the hot dog, I would not get any of them. So,
Wait, you want to get any of the desserts?
the ones that I mean, I don't, I would have to look.
The Schwarbomb Sunday.
Dude,
It's
you're
vanilla ice cream in a cup with fruity pebbles and a donut.
Oh, no,
It's by
I
far
wouldn't
the
get
best
that.
looking thing on the
I
entire
wouldn't
new
get that.
menu.
you're a
If it
I
wasn't
would
dessert
get,
like
I
dude. You
mean,
a
gotta
mortgage
dabble.
payment,
Yeah,
I would,
that's another. I love how they don't show how much it's going to cost.
it's gonna
You
be like
just got to
30
wait until
bucks.
you
It's gonna
show
be
up
like,
there.
listen,
I mean,
I've said this before. I'm bringing a hoagie to the game.
Mm.
You can bring Wawa in. I'm bringing a hoagie to the game, or I'm bringing a hoagie to the tailgate, and I'm eating there, and then maybe I'll get a. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't get food in the thing. I mean, I went to a game one of the last Phillies games I went to. We were in Trey Turner's suite. There were cookies, hot dogs for free. That was great.
why
But
is your
Mhm.
room so dark?
I just I just used the natural light from the
Aura
window. Yeah.
Mm.
But
for Aura.
You look like a
yeah, I
ghost.
mean, there's also you know, would you? I mean, would you guys
Looks like a tire.
get any of it? I mean, for what the price is going to be, like, if say they were all free, which of them would you just genuinely eat? I'm
If it
generally
looks like
answering
my
I wouldn't
bet's
eat
gonna
any of them.
hit, then I'd get one.
Yeah.
Which one though? Like,
Sanchez slider or that
Wait,
yeah, I would get
Schwarbomb
the
monster.
sliders
what
actually.
is the slider? What is the slider?
It's
It's just a
just
chicken
it looks like
sandwich.
a hot chicken sandwich with
That's
pickles and
fire.
mayo.
That's
Yeah.
fire. I mean, I actually like crispy
No,
sandwiches
I
a
think it's
lot.
like two.
we
I
we
think it's
we
two sliders. I think it's like two price smaller
Yeah.
sandwiches.
And you
yeah,
get a
because
side of
sliders,
dipping
yeah,
sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do that if I had to pick
yeah.
one.
Comes in a cool box. They're coming out with some new hats for the Sundays. I saw they have the alternative jerseys, hats on a Sunday. Then they got the Fanatic hat, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Aside from the food, a lot of major changes that we've seen over the last 2 years. First one, obviously, being no more out of town scoreboard. I've given my opinion on that hundreds of times, at least with you guys, and I said it was going to lead to a plethora of things down the road. Now they got rid of Harry the K's, which was out in left field, that restaurant, which is now turned into the Ghost Energy Deck, which, I mean, when's the
Sponsorships
last time
now.
anybody here drank a Ghost Energy?
Probably
Never
Donnie,
had.
2 hours ago.
Maybe,
Man,
maybe.
I
I'll
mean,
give him that.
I didn't drink a Ghost today, but I drink a ton of energy drinks.
But I don't think it's right because Harry Callis is such a huge name within the organization. They play the high hopes at the end of the day or at the end of every win. People are pissed. And it's just going to keep happening. Nothing's going to change. They're going to keep changing stuff around the ballpark. Because at the end of the day, money talks. And these franchises are greedy, so they'll get rid of any tradition if it means more money in their pockets. And they'll continue to charge however much for tickets a game, regardless of what the outcome of the entire season is going to be. I'm not happy about it,
Yeah.
but I don't want to spend, 20 minutes talking about something like this.
I mean, I just feel like Harry the K's is like, a couple years ago, Jack and I were at a game on the same night. Like Harry the K's was where we went and met up. Like it's just like a known spot. If you go to CBP a lot, like everybody knows about Harry the K's. When I used to go to the games, I used to eat there a lot as a kid. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the food. Like I'm a crab fries guy through and through, so you
Hmm.
can't really shake me off of not getting anything else when you go to the game.
But it
But
just
yeah, I
makes you
mean,
think, though, what's next? Like, what are they going to get? Are they going to get rid
it's
of
just
It's
Ashburn Alley
inevitable,
next?
though. It's
Are they,
inevitable.
but
That's
I
what
don't.
this has become. Like,
But it's
there's nothing
annoying,
you
and I
can do
don't.
with this. It's
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah, yeah.
it's just
Like, are they going to
corporate
get rid of Ashburn
decisions.
Alley next? Is that what's going to happen? Probably the most iconic piece in
I
that
would be
entire
shocked.
ballpark. I
I'd be
wouldn't be.
shocked. I
I
would be
would not.
shocked. I would be absolutely
It's a
shocked.
slow buildup.
It's gonna
I
be
mean,
Core Bros Corner.
Yeah.
I know another thing that they added is you can do this like
Turkey Hill Temple.
Amazon walk in and like walk out kind of thing. I don't know if have any of you ever been to one of those Amazon grocery markets where you basically like
Or you just throw
kind
it
of
in the cart and you just
yeah,
pay.
you just put it
ShopRite's
in the
got one cart where you could just like put all your
Yeah,
stuff in the
they
cart and
have
you pay on the tablet.
they've got like
But
two of
like,
those. Like,
yeah, I've seen like two people use them. I've never seen anyone. They just sit outside.
yeah. Well, there's one of those. There's like one of these Amazon grab and go things at the stadium, which I mean, again, it's a corporate thing, but I could see that being convenient, getting people in and out, getting people maybe causing less chaos on the concourse if people can kind of keep things moving. But
That's not going to happen. That's not.
I mean,
There's just
yeah,
no way. There's no
I
way.
don't like the
I
Harry.
don't think it's a bad idea, but
I don't.
No, but
No, no.
it's going to be slow moving.
I think it's a potential conveniencing thing. But yeah,
Plus,
I'm with
they
you.
already
I'm not
have
a
it. There,
fan of the
there,
Harry
it's the
Caves.
future though.
there's been a grab and go thing at Citizens Bank Park forever. You just grab a bag of peanuts and you go. Who says you got to pay? You can just grab it and leave and just take it.
I think you
I feel
do have
like
to pay for those.
Yeah,
Jack, I feel like you did that with the
You are
popcorn
really
this past
incriminating
summer.
yourself this
I
episode.
didn't do it. I just know
Me?
other people. I just know other
Me?
people who did it.
I was the lookout.
Yeah, I just know other people who did it.
Man.
You know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
we had another situation over the weekend. We did go to a nice, our local bar slash restaurant. I had a friend, and I wanted to pose the question. If you're going to a bar, and I'll keep it in your hometown, because if you're trekking all the way to Philly, that's a different story. But If you're in your hometown, you go to a bar and you usually get in all the time, and one of your friends doesn't get in, what do you do? Do you leave with them or do you stay?
Who's at the bar?
It was me, two other friends, and Donnie, and they
No, but
basically
like
told
who?
Donnie to
Wait,
leave.
the group that. All right, you just said you weren't going to explicitly name.
Nah, well,
It was a different Donnie.
yeah, different Donnie,
Oh,
Donnie
oh, oh.
Schmiedonato.
Yeah, it was
I'm not asking the group that you went with. I'm asking like who's like the people in that bar? Like who are your surroundings?
all old
Like
I
heads.
mean,
is it your
you got a
crowd?
lot
Like
of old.
anyone
No,
you'd
you
go
got a
up
lot of old.
to?
I mean,
Like
basically the whole plan was just to go there and drink. You're just casually drinking. You're not there to see anybody in particular. It's all adults in there.
Dude,
I mean,
dude, if you're gonna name this hypothetical, don't use yourself.
I don't care. I don't. What do I care? What do I give a shit? Just fuck that. What is Kaminsky's gonna watch this
No,
and
I'm
be
gonna send
like,
it to WIP. That's who I'm gonna send it to.
well,
Because
then
you're a
I'll take my
sellout.
talent.
Because you're a sellout.
I'll
maybe,
take my talents to the fanatic. I'll take my talents to the fanatic, or I'll move
You
to
don't want to.
music
You
radio.
don't even
Shot.
want to.
All
You
right,
don't want
shot,
to do
shot,
that.
Can
shot.
You
you
know
finish
you
your
don't want to do that.
hypothetical? You take
Shot,
forever to do.
Well, no,
I
I
I
understand it.
said,
said,
Okay.
would
I,
you leave? Would you leave? Would you leave if your friend didn't get in?
All right.
short answer, I would not ask that of anybody else. I wouldn't expect anybody else to ask that of me.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it depends. If it was a night like the other night where there wasn't actually a lot of people there, I probably would have left.
Because what's the
But
difference
if it was
between
like
that or just going back to someone's house? Like, I
right,
don't even get why.
if it was the
There's also
Wednesday
down the
before
street.
Thanksgiving, if it was the Wednesday
Yeah.
before
No.
Thanksgiving though, or New Year's,
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
different.
ask that of somebody else, so I wouldn't expect somebody else to ask that of me.
The kid, he was a good
Hmm.
sport about it. I mean, you didn't. You were mad. I would have been fucking pissed too, but I wouldn't
I'd be
ask
pissed, but
anybody
it's
to
not my
leave. Which
friend's
Donnie did
fault.
a good job,
Yeah.
or excuse me, Bonnie did a good job of doing.
Schmiedenada.
Schmiedonato.
Yeah, I mean, given those circumstances where we're 5 minutes from where everybody else was who didn't go, I think Shmani was just fine going wherever
Hmm.
going to where the rest of his friends were.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
could have
Yeah,
been way
he didn't
worse.
really miss it. He didn't really miss anything.
yeah.
You know.
Regular night, I wouldn't. Regular night, not a big deal. One of the bigger nights, July 4th down the shore, New
Well, I'm
Year's.
never going to a bar again down the shore. So
Yeah,
Oh,
some
I
well,
thought,
somebody
I thought,
sunrise.
somebody 4th of
Sunrise can
July.
suck
I
my
feel like or
balls.
Memorial Day. I think somebody got kicked out of Sunrise.
I
His name
live at
was
Wait,
Bally's. So
but then he got back.
He was, I think
yeah,
his name was Mac. Was it? It was Mac John Dell, I think.
He got kicked out, and then they let him back in.
yeah.
That's happened to you multiple times. I don't.
Yeah, that's the boy
Well,
Mac.
well, Leighton Hofgraben, Rutgers student, he, you know, he holds it down. So that's, yeah, it's not an issue for Leighton Hoff.
No.
So what's everyone's uh racial opinions?
Okay.
Can't
You
have
know
that
we don't talk
conversation around
politics.
Judas over here. Sellout
We
hating.
don't.
Judas.
Well, I'm not.
Judas.
I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I'm not that. I'm not that. But I mean, I am. But I'm not that.
You're a sellout. You're a
All
sellout, is
right.
what you are.
Okay. And that's going to
For a,
conclude the show. So we will go ahead and get him out. All right. That'll conclude episode 17 of Backyard Brawl. Thank you to Jack and Donnie for joining this episode with us. Follow us on TikTok, follow us on X. We have an Instagram, Spotify, all of the goods. So follow us on our platforms,
you're a loser.
and yeah, look out. I hope Jack and Donnie will promote on their social medias. So to any of our new listeners, we talk a lot of sports. We talk. Yo, I'm just gonna get him out of here. I don't know. Like,
My bad. I'm done. I'm done.
okay, good boy. Just let me finish the episode.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that golden hour in the top left corner. Golden hour. How many
Ooh.
PRA tonight? What's the PRA tonight? Big game,
Oh,
right?
we do a huge rec game tonight. This is the quarterfinals. It's the scrapyard versus the ballers or something like that. I am in the starting lineup. I'm the first sub out. I sit until around the 10-minute mark, which is, I'm playing for two because I mean I'm running up and down. I can't even breathe. So I just put my hand up and I'm like, I'm out. Let's set the PRA at 5.5 tonight.
Okay.
5.5.
I'll go
Five
the
and a
Under.
over.
half.
I'll go the
Over
over.
1.5 3-pointers. I recommend slamming the over tonight.
Over 1.5.
Attempts?
I will go the
Over one.
under.
No, 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 no. Made. Not attempts. Attempts. Put the attempts line at
6.
8.5.
Whoa,
8.5.
whoa.
You let it fly.
I'll
I'm
go.
shooting. I'm
And
letting it
the
fly tonight.
and the
I'll
made
go.
line is only 0.5?
No, no, it's
No, one
one
and a
point
half. It's
five.
one and a
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
half.
one and a
Much
half.
better.
Yeah, yeah,
Much
yeah,
better.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So from my
Yeah.
scouting, my game reports that I do receive after these games, I haven't gotten one game report where a three was actually made. So I will go with under on the made threes, over. I'll go under on the attempted threes as well, but I'll go over on the 5.5 PRA. I'll go over
I
on that.
mean, based on the film that I have from your hoop sessions at the JCC, I'm gonna have to go the under on everything. I don't think you're
Fade
gonna make
way.
any threes.
You don't think I'm shooting more than 8.5 threes tonight?
Actually, that no, I think you lose confidence. I think you airball.
No, I don't lose confidence. I don't lose confidence.
I don't really see how 5.5 PRA is very low. That's why I said it at last week, but
Do you get boards? Like, are you like a bigger guy? I know you're big, but are you like tall compared to them?
he doesn't
No,
get boards. He
I'm
had
the
no
smallest guy on
rebounds
the
last. He
court.
had no rebounds
Really?
last week.
No, I'm like a traffic cone out there on defense. I'll guard the perimeter, and then I do that little leg kick out thing where like I try not to let them go by me, and it's the whistle every time. So
Okay. Yeah.
But
Well,
Give
hopefully
me
they.
you
give
don't
me
get away with that
over
stuff there.
threes attempted, um, under on 1.5. You're gonna make one of them. You're gonna make one of them, but that's
Wow.
it.
that's
Wow.
And
love.
that'll be it for PRA. So therefore, under on PRA, you'll finish at
Okay,
3.
I mean,
okay, all right.
he usually comes back to us with a couple assists. So if you're saying he's going to make a three, I mean that's three of the. He needs to only get to six. I'm going to go with the.
Well,
I'm confident in the over on the PRA.
you got to think about it. He's not gonna have any assists because if he gets the rock, the possession's gonna end there.
Yeah.
So,
No, he say. I mean, he had like
so
three
he's not
assists
But
getting
last
any
week.
assists.
I do dish
Yeah,
every game.
I
So
don't
confident.
know. I
But we're
don't
rooting
know.
for the team. We're rooting for the team. Hopefully,
Mhm.
I don't know if the jeans wetter of the couch plays on the team, but hopefully
no,
he
he's
can.
not on my team. He's not on my team.
Yeah, hopefully he
Jeez,
can.
sweater.
He's been suspended for the year. But yeah, hopefully Shy's team wins tonight, and
Hmm.
we'll come back to you next week with those results. But thank you for tuning in, Donnie and Jack. Thank you for being on. Go Gators tonight.
Go
Um,
Gators.
yeah, we'll
Go
catch you
Mighty
guys next
Max.
week.
Thanks
Yes,
for
sir,
having
bro.
us.